What's up, guys? Emmanuel Jones here, and we back with another prediction. And this time it's time to do our Week 8 predictions. So last week I went 5-8, which I did pretty bad last week, but I'm hoping to do better this week. And all of a sudden, my overall record is 60-37. So before I give you my predictions for Week 8, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who you think is going to win Week 8. So basically, we're going to get started. So I chose the Bills to win 24-16. And they basically won 24-18, which I got my score right. So basically, we're going to get started. So week 1, all right, this game we have the LA Rams versus Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by -6. Now, this is a game that can definitely go either way a little bit. Now, a lot of people could be on the Rams, though, because the Rams, have the better quarterback and all that and better coaching. But all of a sudden, Dallas seemed like they're an overall better team, though. And all of a sudden, they're coming off a bye. So I'm taking Dallas in this matchup because I think Dallas is just an overall better team. And I just think, with their defense, because the weakness of the Rams, their offensive line. So I just think Dallas defense will be a handful for that Rams offensive line. I think they'll get tons of pressure. And I think they have a better secondary with better corners. I think Gilmore could be a good matchup for Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua because the Rams receivers are really good. And all of a sudden, Matthew Stafford is playing at a higher level. I mean, the Rams offense is starting to execute at a higher level. They're starting to put points up on the board, but they wasn't able to do that last week because the Steelers defense really made some plays and then Kenny Pickett the offense just came through. So I don't really know the Rams going to be able to keep up with the Dallas defense. I mean, as long as, the Rams, don't play soft coverage and then the Rams, can beat their man coverage or zone coverage against the Cowboys, I think the Rams can find a way to at least keep it close and might win their matchups. Because I don't think the Rams have anybody in the secondary that can cover the Cowboys receivers. So I just kind of feel like CeeDee Lamb and those guys are just going to be too much for Rams secondary to handle, especially Tony Pollard is a difference maker. I don't think the Rams will have answers for it. So, yeah, I think Dak Prescott should get enough time. He's going to get the ball out quick and all that. So, I think Dallas finds a way to win this game, and I think Dallas covers. But I think it's going to be close, though. But I don't know how close it's going to be, but I'm probably going to say the Cowboys win like 23-20, something like that. Or like maybe 17-20 or like 17-23. I think Dallas can win at least by I think they can win by 7, I'd say. So I'm taking Dallas both ways in this game. So, yeah. All right, next game we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota's favored by 1, but I don't know why for a reason. Because, Minnesota came off a Monday night win against the Niners, and Green Bay is coming off of a loss against Denver. Now, this is Kirk Cousins versus Jordan Love. You know what? It's kind of tough to say that I might take the Vikings to win because the Vikings offense has been proven to me that they've been moving the ball against defenses. Kirk Cousins played really well against the Niners defense, and especially their defense with Brian Flores. They're starting to figure things out. I feel like I have a chance that Minnesota can win because I just don't trust Green Bay right now. Did you even look how Jordan Love played last week? I mean, since week 1, the guy can't throw. I mean, you can say he had a good performance against the Bears, but right now the guy can't throw. I mean, Matt LaFleur, is just calling a play down the field, and they're not passing the ball for past 20 yards. Especially, they got a guy named Christian Watson who runs a 3.9, and they can't throw the ball over 20 yards. This is crazy. Their offense can get it going. And then the defense, Joe Barry doesn't even know what he's doing. You're just going to sit there and let Javonte Williams run all over you? Come on. Just seriously? with the front seven, the defense couldn't even stop the run. Their defense, I say it's kind of struggling to stop the pass. Like Green Bay needs to at least like do something though. But you know what? I'm gonna say Green Bay is gonna win this game. I'm gonna take them to win this game. I think Green Bay is gonna get back on track because I don't see them losing four in a row. Because I thought at the end of the fourth quarter, I thought their defense kind of stayed in the game to keep it close. It's just that the offense blew it because Love threw that pick. But I think Brian Flores is good at blitzing young quarterbacks. But I think Green Bay is going to get after the blitz. They're going to move the ball because I don't think Minnesota's secondary is special because they don't. I don't think they have the corners to cover Green Bay, to cover Watson and all that. So I think Green Bay, especially to have a better defense, I think they have the pass rush, to get after Kirk Cousins, and we don't know if Jaire's playing because they got the secondary to cover Jordan Addison because Justin Jefferson out again and all that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna take Green Bay to win this game. I'll take them to cover as well. So yeah. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lower scoring game, like 19-16. I'm saying Green Bay wins by a field goal. So yeah, give me the Packers to win straight up. Next game we have the Atlanta Falcons versus Tennessee Titans. Atlanta's favored by 2.5. Now this is another game that can go either way. Now people are kind of on the Titans because they're at home in this game. They're coming off a bye. But obviously, I don't know if I can trust the Titans, offensively, because, offensively, they're really not moving the ball, especially enough. And their defense is starting to keep them in games, but not really. But you know what? I just kind of really feel like that, Tannehill being out will be a factor. Now, they don't know who the quarterback's going to be, right? It's going to be Will Levis or Malik Willis. Both of them probably going to get some reps in this game. But I just kind of feel like the only way the Titans, can win this game is if Ritter turns the ball over a lot, and all that. So I think that's how way Tennessee wins the game. But I think the only way if Atlanta, can win this game, Desmond Ritter should not turn the ball over as much because the Falcons is great as one of the most underrated defense in the NFL because Atlanta's they've been like. I mean, their defense is starting to keep them in games, and offensively, they're starting to move the ball a little bit. And Ritter's playing amazing right now. So basically, though, with Bayer out, I don't know how that's going to affect the Titans, but I know it's in Tennessee, but I'm leaning towards the Falcons to win this game because the Falcons are just an overall better team, better quarterback. But here's the thing, Arthur Smith and Mike Vero know each other, but I think Atlanta, could have some better coaching in this game because I just think they're a more complete team in this game, and I think their defense can make more stops because Atlanta's been really good against the run lately. I think they'll find a way to slow down Henry, and then I think they have the secondary, the corners, to cover the Titans receivers and all that. So yeah, so basically. I think they could keep this game a lot closer and competitive, though. But I think Atlanta finds a way to win this game. I'm gonna say at least like 23-20, something like that, or like 27 to like 23. Because I'm not too confident of the Titans scoring over 20 points this yet. So I'm probably gonna say like 16 to like 20, 16, something like that. So yeah. So basically, I'm probably just gonna take the Falcons both ways. So I'm gonna take the Falcons to win and cover. All right, next game we have the New Orleans Saints versus the Indianapolis Colts. New Orleans favored by -2. Obviously, this is a game that can go either way. Now, most people might pick the Colts to win because a lot of people are saying that a lot of people don't really trust the Saints right now because the Saints offense have been struggling to score. I mean, especially they've been struggling to score in the red zone lately. But I think the only way they lost last week is because Foster Monroe lost them that game because he dropped the ball in the end zone. I think that's how the way the Saints have lost the game. And Carr's been a little bit inconsistent as well. But you can argue saying he threw for over 300 yards, which he had a nice game, but he's I mean, the Saints offense, is starting to not get things going, but the defense, you can say it's playing okay, but it's not really, like, I don't think it's good enough to carry the team. But the Colts, are putting the points up on the board. Like, they've really showed a lot of fight against the Browns at the end, but I think that, Gardner Minshew kind of lost him that game because he fumbled on the last drive. So I think the Colts, I think they're gonna stay in the game and move the ball, and all of a sudden, because offensively they're starting to put points on the board, and they've been competitive though, and especially on defense they've been playing okay. But you know what? I know it's in Indianapolis, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the Saints to win because I just think the Saints are just an overall better version of the Colts. I think they're a more complete team. They have more receivers. They have a better defense, and all of a sudden they have a better quarterback. So yeah, like like the Colts, I don't really think their secondary is gonna do enough to like slow down the Saints receivers. Like I feel like Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed, those guys are gonna be too much for the secondary of the Colts to handle, especially their defense is a little young. So yeah. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and just take the Saints to win. But giving those points with the Colts, I think the Colts find a way to cover this game. I think they're gonna stay competitive in the game. But I feel like the Colts are gonna run the ball in this game, but they've been accurate throwing the ball as well. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna say like maybe like 20 the like I'm gonna say 23-17, something like that. So yeah. So give me the Saints with the points. I mean, give me the Colts with the points, but I think the Saints to win. All right, next game we have the New England Patriots versus Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 9.5. Now the line has changed to 9. I don't know why, but basically, you know, I gotta take the Dolphins in this game because they're gonna get back on track this week. They're at home, and all of a sudden, we understand New England came off a win against the Bills, but I like how the way New England played against the Bills last week. I thought offensively they were able to move the ball. They was able to come through. Guys were stepping up. The defense actually played really good, though, so you give credit there. So yeah. But the Dolphins, looked at pretty poor against the Eagles last week. Their defense wasn't that good, and especially the offense was definitely struggling. Because I'm saying that if the Dolphins, like I've been saying this like over a week ago, because if they continue to play poor like this, they're not going to be able to come back against the Patriots. It's like the same thing when they play against the Eagles and the Bills. Like they wasn't able to come back in those games because they looked at pretty poor. But I think Miami finds a way to get back on track this week. I feel like Tyreek Hill saying that he's playing, so I regret that he will play. Raheem Mostert, we don't know if he's playing. But the good news is that Ramsey gets to play this week. So basically, I think the Dolphins defense, I feel like Vic Fangio's going to come up with a good game plan on defense. And especially, they have the corners to cover the Patriots receivers. And, their pass rush is kind of okay, I say. And then, offensively, they should be able to move the ball against them. I feel like Tua's going to make some magic happen. So, yeah, especially Miami's heading in the right direction because they have more to play for because they have a better chance to make the playoffs in the Patriots don't. So, yeah, so I'm taking the Dolphins to win this game. But you know what? Give me the 9. I know 9. That's kind of a big number. So give me the 9. Give me the points with the Patrons. I think the Patrons keep this close and competitive. I think the Patrons, are going to stay in this game. I think they find a way to do it. So I'm probably going to say like 23-20, something like that, or maybe like 23-20, something like that. So yeah. So I'm gonna take the points with the Patrons, but giving the Dolphins to win the game. Especially Miami is just the overall better team, better quarterback. They're at home. That's pretty much why. All right, next game we have the New York Jets versus the New York Giants. Two New York teams. As opposing, the Jets are favorite in this game. Obviously, this game can a little bit. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. These teams are in New York, but it can go either way a little bit though. Now, now I heard the news that Tyrod Taylor is gonna be starting again this week, so that's something to watch. Now we know the Giants, came off a win against the Commanders. I think the Giants, really played outstanding against the Washington. I mean, their defense played really well, but the offense still wasn't good. But especially they were making plays. And then Jets, they're coming off a bye after two straight wins, and all of a sudden, I was gonna call it a trap game for some minute, but obviously I won't because I think this game will be close and competitive like it was. But I am taking the Jets to win this game because I'm taking Zach Wilson. Because the reason why I'm taking the Jets because I just think they're overall better team. They got more receivers. They got a better O line. They have a better defensive line. They got the better secondary as well. I mean, they got the most better everything. So yeah, I mean, the Giants, they're gonna start and move the ball in this game, especially their defense, because Martindale likes to blitz. I think the Jets offense will find a way to move the ball against the Giants because I think they're gonna have answers for the blitz. They're gonna have answers for their defense and all that. And I don't think the Giants are gonna have no answers for the Jets running game because I feel like Brees Hall can break a tackle and go off for a couple yards. So yeah, and I just think that the Giants' O line is still atrocious, and the Jets' defensive line can take advantage of that because I feel like the Jets' defense is playing at a good unit right now. They're playing at a higher level. I mean, he's been playing good for the past couple of weeks. They're not they're not giving up big plays. They're not really giving up big plays. They're not allowing teams to run them over. I mean, that's how the way the Jets defense is playing because they have the pass rush to get out to the quarterback, and I think they'll find a way to slow down the run. And all of a sudden, they have the corners. The corners are like Sauce and Reed coming back. I feel they have the corners to cover the Giants' passing game because I don't think the Giants have any good receivers and all that. So yeah. So by the way, I'm gonna take the Jets to win, but I don't know about the Jets to cover because I'm kind of scared of Wink Martindale blitzing Zach Wilson. So basically, I don't really know about that. So yeah, so obviously, I'm gonna take the Jets to. So obviously, I'm taking the Jets to win, but I'm gonna go ahead and just take the points with the Giants. I think the Giants cover this game because I think Wink Martindale is gonna blitz in this game. I think the Giants defense might get some pressure, but I feel like the Jets defense gets more stop and they can make a ton of pressure. So yeah. So yes, and also I wouldn't be surprised if Dayball outcoached the Jets as well. Because you can argue saying the Giants have better coaching staff as well. So basically, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be a low scoring game. So I'm probably gonna say like 23-17, something like that. Or like 17-13. Or like 17-16, more like a lower scoring game. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm gonna take the Giants with the points, but give me the Jets to win. Next game, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jacksonville's favorite at 2.5. Obviously, I think this is a tough. I feel like this is a tough decision to say. I call it a trap game for some minute until I decided, oh, maybe I should not call it a trap game because both these games can definitely go. This team can go either way as well. I mean, I don't know who's gonna win this game. I call it track game for some reason, but I kind of have a feeling that Pittsburgh can definitely win this game at home. But I think the only way Pittsburgh can win is that their defense can step up against Trevor Lawrence. Because especially this defense had played really well for the past couple of weeks. Especially coming off a bye, I thought their defense really played well against the Rams, especially their offense, was able to come through against the Rams. That was good performance. And Jacksonville's coming off a win against the Saints and all that. But you know what? I know it's in Pittsburgh and all of a sudden, but I'm taking Jacksonville to win this game because I think Jacksonville is an overall better team. They have the better quarterback. They got the better offense. I think they got the better defense. They got better linebackers, better edge rushers, better corners, safeties. They just got the better everything. So, yeah. I just don't have a lot of faith in Pittsburgh's offense because I think Pittsburgh's offense, is starting to struggle a little bit. I still don't believe in their offense because you can just say they stink, but I just don't think they're that bad of a team. But I just kind of feel like their offense is not as good as it used to be. And I think their defense, it's been up and down. And, they've been bad against the run with Cam Hayward being out. But I think Jacksonville can do enough to run the ball on them. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get the ball out quick. And especially, the receivers, with Calvin Ridley, Kirk Cousins. Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram. Those guys are going to be tough to cover and all that. I think Jacksonville's offense is going to be very explosive, and I expect them to put points on the board. I just don't know if Pittsburgh has enough offensively to, get some points up on the board. So, yeah, I feel like Jacksonville can at least move the ball against them. And I think their defense, especially Pittsburgh's offensive line isn't good. So I think the Jacksonville's defense can get pressure and they can overwhelm that Steelers O-line. And then I think their secondary can take their matchups against the Steelers pass catchers. So, yeah. So, basically, I'm going to take the Jags to win. But the 2.5 is kind of tough, though. I'll take the 2.5 with the Steelers because I think the Steelers, can keep it close and competitive, though. So I'm going to say the Jags win 23-16, something like that. So, yeah. I'm going to change this way. Yeah, I'm going to say Pittsburgh does cover to keep it close in this game. Because I think Kenny Pickett, he hasn't proven enough that he can at least, do anything. Especially, throw the ball and all that. And, he's been very conservative and very inconsistent a little bit. But, so, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Steelers with the points, but giving the Jags to win the game. All right, next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles playing against the Washington Commanders. Philadelphia's favored by 7. And obviously, it's time to fly, Eagles, fly to a victory in Washington. So, obviously, I got the Eagles win this game. I wanted to take Washington, though, because I thought in that first matchup against the Eagles, I thought Washington really moved the ball really well in that game. And especially their offense, their defense definitely was making some plays. And all of a sudden, though, I think maybe Washington can pull it off, but I don't know. But I'm going to take the Eagles to win this game because I just think the Eagles are just a more complete team, better quarterback, better coaching, and all that. So they just got the better everything as well. So yeah, I just think Philadelphia has more to play for because I don't think Washington's gonna have much to play for a little bit in this game because I don't think Washington's gonna make the playoffs this year. Because I understand that Jonathan Allen is frustrated, I understand he's frustrated of losing, saying that it's been 7 years. They've had a losing season, all that, but yeah. But I just have a feeling that Philly will win because I think Philadelphia is just they're just going to move the ball against Washington. I think their defense, especially in the secondary, they can match up well with Washington's receivers, especially their pass rush can get after Howell. I don't see Washington getting a ton of pressure in this game. Because I think Hurts is going to ball out. So, yeah, give me the Eagles to win straight up and give me them to cover. All right, next game we have the Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers. The Texans are favored by 3.5. Obviously, this is a game that can definitely go either way. Now, when I was doing my predictions for the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers, I picked the Panthers in this game because they were at home. But obviously, since, this is an overall all first round pick quarterback swing against her. CJ Stroud versus Bryce Young. But obviously, this game can a little bit go either way. Now, Houston's coming off a bye, and Carolina, they're coming off a bye as well. So basically, the Texans have been playing some good football recently, especially their defense is playing really well and is being a top 20 unit. The offense is starting to get at a top 12 unit. CJ Stroud was great at a top 15 quarterback. And all of a sudden, Texans, they're just moving the ball efficiently on offense, especially on defense. They're playing a lot better. While the Carolina Panthers, they have the worst. They could have the worst quarterback in the league. They could have their coaching is kind of bad, and then they have the worst. They have the second worst defense in the NFL, second worst quarterback in the NFL. So yeah, that's possible. Because like I said a long time ago, you have to go with CJ Stroud over Bryce Young. Do you think that's going to change? No. I actually got the Texans winning this game. And the reason why I got the Texans winning this game because overall, they're playing better football right now. And all of a sudden, I just think they have the better quarterback. So, yeah. I think Stroud's better than Young. And he's playing better football right now. So, yeah. Panthers defense dealing with some injuries. So, yeah, I think Houston should be able to move the ball against them. And especially, I feel like that, that I just don't know if Carolina's offense is going to be able to keep up with the Texans. But I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina get their first win this season because if they do, that would be awesome. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Texans. I'll take the Texans to win, and I'll take the Texans to cover. Okay, next game we have the Cleveland Browns versus Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's favored by 3.5. Obviously this is a game that can go either way. Now most people might pick the Browns because the Browns got the best defense in the NFL. But I don't really know because Watson's ruled out again. And I feel like with him getting ruled out again, it's kind of scary. So, yeah. It's kind of weird to say that he's out again. But obviously, if Watson did play in this game, I could definitely go with the Browns. But since I found out he's not playing, I am going to go with the Seahawks here. I just think the Seahawks, I know that they're not playing well on offense, and especially their defense is playing okay. And I understand Nwosu's out for the year. I just have a feel like Seattle's going to win this game because they're the overall better team, more stable at the quarterback position. And I just think, that, this is a good match for the Browns because I think the Seahawks, they have the corners to cover the Browns receivers and tight ends. And I feel like they do have a defensive line to get after PJ Walker. And they've been good against the run lately, so I don't really know because I just kind of feel like Jerome Ford is going to run all over them because Seahawks front seven looks a little shaky due to Nwosu being out for the year. And I think offensively, I think they can attack Cleveland. I feel like they're going to have answers for their blitzes. and I think the Seahawks defense will have answers for the passing game as well. So I think the Seahawks will be able to move the ball offensively against them. And then especially, they may not get a ton of pressure, but I feel like the Browns can, especially with their good defensive line with Myles Garrett in there. I mean, I feel like the Browns, that's a problem. He's a problem, but I feel like Seattle's all O-line can get a test here. But so, yeah. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks with the win, but give me those points with the Browns. I think the Browns find a way to keep it close. I think they find a way to keep it competitive. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna say the Seahawks at least win. Like I'm gonna go with maybe 24-27, something like that. All right, 24-20. So yeah, or maybe like 31-27. So yeah. I don't really know if Seattle's going to put up 30 points on this Browns team because, last week when they played against the Colts, when the Browns played against the Colts put up 30 points against them. But I don't know if it's going to be the same like this. So, yeah. So, obviously, give me those Browns with the points, but give me the Seahawks to win the game. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. The Kansas City Chiefs are favored by -7. Obviously, this is a game that can go either way a little bit, but I got the Chiefs win this game because the Chiefs got the better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're an overall better team. They have more to play for this game. I mean, Denver, doesn't because they're not going to make the playoffs this year. But here's that one thing, Denver played really well against the Packers though, because the Packers, because their defense played really well, and the offense a little bit was able to run the ball. They were moving the ball against them a little bit, but they couldn't score a lot of points. And then Chiefs came off a big win against the Chargers, and all of a sudden, so yeah, I think they can keep it close in this game a little bit. But I just don't know if Denver's going to put up 20 points in this game because Denver's offense kind of concerns me a little bit. So yeah. So overall, I'm probably going to take the Chiefs to win this game because I think the Chiefs are the overall better team. So, yeah. Because I don't think Denver's going to be able to keep up with the Chiefs' high-powered offense. So I think the Broncos will struggle again against the Chiefs because the Broncos have not proven to me they can beat the Chiefs. So, yeah, I'm going to probably take the Chiefs to win big, and I'll take them to cover as well. All right, next game we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Baltimore Ravens is favored at 9.5. Now I know that's a big number right here, but obviously I got the Ravens in this game because the Ravens, they're overall better team, better quarterback, better coaching staff. Now, if Kyler Murray does play in this game, I could definitely take the Cardinals to cover, but if he doesn't, I'll probably take the Ravens to cover. Now we understand the Ravens came off a big win against the Lions, though, which that's huge. I mean, Lamar Jackson was like the MVP in that game. I think he could definitely be MVP in this game again against the Cardinals. Because the Cardinals, like I said, they're not as talented. And the Ravens, offensively can move the ball on them. They have the better defense to at least, slow down the Cardinals' offense, Because I feel like if Kyler Murray plays in the game, they can keep it close because all he likes to do is just run around in circles and make a play and extend the play, run against pressure. That's what he likes to do. And Lamar does that too as well. So, yeah, I think they could keep it close in this game, but I don't know. I don't know who the Cardinals quarterback is going to be yet, but if Kyler plays, I'll take them to cover. But if he doesn't, I'll probably take the Ravens to cover. But, they said he was doubtful to play, so basically I'm going to take the Ravens to win. So, yeah. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win straight up, and I'll take them to cover. Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers. San Fran's favored by 4.5. Now, I call it a trap game for some reason because I don't really know if Brock Purdy's going to play this week. But now I found out that he is playing, which I don't really know if it's going to matter, though. But this is tough to choose. Like, I don't really know, though. Like, it's kind of hard to choose because Niners on a 2-game lose streak, and then the Bengals, they're 3-3 right now. It's hard to choose who wins more in this game. I have to think about that. You know what? I think this game is going to be close and competitive, but I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game. Even though the game's in San Fran, I'm taking Cincy to win this game because I think Cincinnati has a better quarterback. And I just think, Cincinnati can do enough offensively, to move the ball against the Niners. Because the Niners defense cannot stop a nosebleed right now. Because we see them got ran over a little bit by the Vikings, Kirk Cousins outplayed Brock Purdy. I mean, their defense against the Vikings, like, if you look at that game against the Vikings, their defense couldn't stop the pass. They just let Jordan Addison go off. And all of a sudden, the offense is pretty good, but Brock Purdy kind of lost him that game because he threw that brutal interception at the end on that drive, which I don't know. I don't think will happen again. So, yeah. I understand that people are taking a Niners win because they're at home and they have the better defense in this game. But I think if long as Cincinnati now, I feel like Cincinnati can do a good job. The only way they can attack the Niners is that if they can beat the blitz and win their matchups. And I think Burrow's going to have to get the ball out quick to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and those guys, especially Joe Mixon in the backfield if he's open on a screen pass. And then especially, the Niners, offensively, I just kind of feel the Niners secondary. I don't know if they have any corners, though. Like, I don't think they have enough corners to cover the Bengals receivers, especially the Bengals, I feel like it's a good matchup for the Niners because, they have the pass rush to get after the quarterback and to stop the run. And I feel like they'll slow down McCaffrey very well. And then they have the secondary. Like, they have the corners to cover the Niners receivers. They have the safeties to do that. And I think Lou Anarumo, with his defense, he's going to find a way to put up a good game plan against his Niners offense. I think Cincinnati finds a way to pull it out at the end. I think it could be a little bit of a defensive game a little bit, but I don't really know. I think it can be because I think Cincinnati's defense stays in the game. I think San Francisco's defense stays in the game as well. So by the way, I'm taking the Bengals to win this game straight up. And I'll take them to cover as well. Obviously, if I take the underdogs to win, they'll cover. So, yeah. But I'm not too confident on the Niners quarterback position and all that. Because I feel like San Fran can get back on track, but I don't know. It's kind of a tough to choose, but I just picked Cincinnati because they need to win this one. Because I feel like Cincinnati needs to win this one. They want to get back to 500, to get over 500. Because if they lose this game, they're pretty much in trouble. That's what I like to say. Because if they win, then they're probably in the right direction. And even though despite the Niners losing 2 games in a row, they're still in the right direction, and they're still fine. So, I'm taking the Bengals straight up. All right, next game, Sunday Night Football, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 9. Obviously, I got the Chargers in this game. Like, I understand that the Bears offense, I feel like, Badgett kind of had a good game against against the Raiders, though. The defense played really good, though. But the Chargers defense have been really struggling to stop the pass of lately. They've been bad against the pass. But you can say they're good against the run, but they're not good against the pass. Like, the Bears, ran all over the Raiders, and all of a sudden, the Bears, their DJ Moore is gonna get wide open, and then the Bears gonna run the ball, and especially on the Chargers because they know the Chargers defense cannot stop the run, but their offense, the offense is just playing bad, and Herbert's not looking like himself. Like, he's playing injured, and he looks injured. I mean, the guy can't throw. I mean, he is. It has something to do with his injury. He has. So yeah, like I don't know if I can believe Brandon Staley cover 9 points because we know 9 is a big number, but you know what? I'm taking the Bears with the points. I think the Bears are going to keep this game close because I think the offense is going to show up in this game. But I think the Chargers has a better defense because I think their defense makes more stops because they're more talented, better quarterback. They're at home, and they kind of have better coaching as well. So yeah, I got the Chargers to win, but give me the Bears with the points. I say to keep it close. I'm gonna say like 20-16, something like that. So yeah. So I'm gonna take the Bears with the points, but the Chargers to win the game. The last game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Detroit Lions. Lions are favored by -8. Obviously, I got the Lions in this game. I mean, the Lions, the Lions are just the overall better team. They should get back on track this week. They're overall better team, better coaching, um, better quarterback. They're at home, and they're overall more talented team. I mean, the Raiders look like they look lost. I mean, the Raiders offense, they look pretty bad against the Bears last week so yeah, and also I just don't think the Raiders have the corners in the secondary to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams and those guys, especially, Sam Laporta. I think the Lions offense is going to show up in this game. Those guys are going to be too much for the Raiders secondary to handle. And I feel like they can run the ball on them because they have a good offensive line. And I feel like if they can block Max Crosby, I think there's a chance that they can score on them and they can win the game. And I feel like Jared Goff is going to show some magic in this game. Because we know the Lions are angry and frustrated because I feel like they need to get back on track this week after getting blown out by the Ravens. And I think their defense, they've been really good against the run. So I think they'll do a good job stopping their running game. And they've been okay against the pass, but they were really bad against the pass last week because the Lions defense gave up big plays and all that. But I think this is a time I think the Lions secondary plays a lot better. I think their defense plays a lot better. I think the offense plays a lot better because we know that the offense for the Lions looked like trash last week because they couldn't move the ball on the Ravens. Their defense couldn't slow down the Ravens. So I think the Lions are going to play better this week. So, yeah. So I'm going to take the Lions to win, but I'll take the Lions to cover as well. I'm probably going to say I'm going to say maybe 23-20, something like that. So maybe they keep it close, maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to say at least 27-16, something like that. I'm going to say maybe 27-17. Maybe they win by double digits because I don't know if the Raiders are going to be able to keep up with them. I mean, as long as they keep it close and the Raiders can stay competitive and they can keep it close. But at the end of the day, I'm taking the Lions both ways. I'm taking them to win and cover. Well, those are all your Week 8 picks for this week. I hope you guys enjoy watching. And don't forget to put a thumbs up to like the video and subscribe to my channel as well. So, yeah. And also, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section below what you guys think, who you think is going to win Week 8 and all that. So, yeah. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones for Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.